let's move into questions as we usually do. Our first question this week comes from Ganelon, who asks, an eccentric man in the United States is selling a Grail worth $5 million for only $5,000. Many people line up for the chance to buy it, but you're first. The seller only has a card reader for payment and gives you 5 seconds to complete the transaction in one attempt, or else he moves on to the next buyer and you lose the Grail. Each card and which payment method, swipe, insert, or tap, would you use to make sure the payment goes through? Please share your thoughts. Assume you do not have a American Express Centurion, JPM Reserve, or similar luxury cards. We can throw in the Platinum, we can throw in the Sapphire Reserve if you also choose. But, Craig, you're getting a 99% off a Grail.
I
What card do
was
you buy? What card do you buy?
uh Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say a CSR. I oddly enough checked my platinum buying power today, and Amex has far too much trust in me. Far too much. But I'm going to assume if this person is silly enough to sell a $5 million grill for $5,000, they're probably not going to take Amex because this is also silly. And in the split second that they don't take Amex, well, I've wasted my turn trying to use the platinum. So I know my CSR limit is high enough. And worst case scenario, if I get burned, I can go back to Chase and say this was fraud.
That's
So
fair.
that's me. Also, I
RJ.
love that everybody here except Matt has essentially a Centurion and a JP Morgan Reserve card.
I have a Sapphire Reserve.
That's right, you sure do. Never mind. We all have some combination of the little brothers of these cards.
Indeed.
I apologize.
RJ, how are you dealing with this potentially obvious grift?
Apple Card, Apple Pay. Because I know my limit on that card. I don't have to worry about the Amex issue, which I didn't think about until just now. I appreciate that, Craig. My answer is usually going to be whatever card is my first card in Apple Pay because all of them have a high enough limit where I can put $5,000 on them without worrying. So I'm not super worried there. But if I knew ahead of time, I would swipe my Apple Card down to the bottom because I've never had an issue with it needing my face twice. So if it's about speed and not reward, because if I now have a $5 million Grail, that sucker is going up to Sotheby's in about 45 seconds after I won the Grail, then I don't care about the rewards on the card. I just want it locked in and then I can auction it off and everybody's happy.
I have a genuine question because I'm somehow a credit card YouTuber that does not know credit cards. Does the Apple Card have protections? And that's not from a purchasing like a Grail standpoint. Are there any protections on the Apple Card?
Protections as in
Like,
Purchasing
Return, purchase,
protections?
price.
Anything?
I I feel like I should know this.
Mm.
I haven't used my Apple Card regularly in 2.5 years because I don't do a ton of cashback anymore. I knew it at one point. I don't know off the top of my head anymore.
I've only ever made two purchases on my Apple Card. One was for an iPad and the other were for AirPods. So I don't have a lot of experience.
It's it is a World Elite Mastercard, so I am it doesn't have the cell phone protection that usually comes with it because Apple would like you to buy Apple Care. I imagine there are still some purchase protections. Go to Lonnie, Matt, and I will real-time follow up.
Lonnie, how
I
are
don't
you
have an Apple
approaching
Card.
this?
I said I don't
Oh,
have an
well,
Apple Card, and probably won't even consider getting one until the new bank is officially announced and takes over. But anyway, this dude is obviously selling something stolen, and you should buyer beware. And if he's trying to push it off that fast for that price, you it's illegal for you to make the purchase. We're just going to go ahead and say that. But out of all the credit cards that I have, I only have one that has a limit that's less than $5,000, and that's that first card I keep talking about. My first student card. It's the only card that doesn't have a $5,000 limit on it. So I would basically use any other card, and it should go through without problem, without question, without fail. Other than if I have to make the purchase because I would actually walk away from this, it's too good to be true. I'd probably use like my United Explorer card, get the miles on it, and it also has protections on it. So I'd be covered. Not by the law, but at least by the purchase.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me start with saying I have no earthly idea of the legitimacy of this Grail. And since they're giving me 5 seconds to complete the transaction, we're not going to be able to see that it is authenticated in any way. We have no way of knowing that you're actually getting the Steel of the Century because it's probably stolen, as Lonnie said. So you making the purchase is going to make you an accessory after the fact, probably. And as for a card, I'm going to try and get the strongest, most try to help me out purchase protections that could possibly exist, except they're not going to help me. Because when you make a fraudulent purchase, it's not on the banks to help you solve that issue. I would likely use an Amex of some kind. The only Amex cards that I have are Blue Business Plus. I'm not going to put it on that because no, I need protections. And then I have the Hilton Honors card. So I could use my Hilton Honors card for sure. I'll live in a fantasy world where I've got a gold card with a pretty good spending power on it. You know what? Let's just plot myself into giving myself a gold. I'll use the tap to pay method just so that they can't skim too much information. For a question like this, tap to pay, because Google Wallet, Samsung Wallet, Apple Wallet, they're all going to give you that extra layer of protection where the card reader is not going to get the full number. They're going to get the tokenized version of the card's number. I would say that tap via your mobile wallet of choice is going to be your best option, security wise. Do not give this person your physical card. Do not physically put your card in this reader. Do not physically tap your card to this reader. Give yourself an extra level of protection. That is where mobile wallet can come into play. So I'm gonna conjure myself up a gold or green card, because given what American Express gives me for spending capabilities, I don't even have that many American Express cards. American Express likes me a lot for unknown reasons. They like to give me vast amounts of credit. So it'll go on an Amex card. And I'm putting that through a mobile wallet just to give myself a little extra protection. This is a little too fantastical. I probably wouldn't have even swiped in the first place because, nah, dude, there's something wrong here. Unless you've got an authenticator there.
I think the question was asked legitimately. I understand all of us being like, whoa. But I do think to the asker of the question, I do think they asked this question as we take it at face value, this thing is worth $5,000. I think they were asking basically, what method do we trust the most in this situation?
Oh, in this particular situation, I am absolutely trusting mobile wallet above all else. Doesn't matter what card I'm mobile wallet. Apple mobile wallet is going to do a tokenization of your card for each of those transactions. So like they add that extra level. I am certain that Google Wallet or Samsung Wallet do the same thing, although I have never played in that ecosystem. Lonnie, I assume it's tokenization, right?
They do, yes.
Because it'd be silly if they didn't. So for something like this, absolutely tokenization. Also, for us going down the rabbit holes that we did, we have 2 Syracuses on this show.
2.5 on a good day.
Yeah. So one of the Syracuse minds on this show is going to Syracuse it. So we just have to. No, but Ganelon, I think we can all come to a good consensus that you're probably going to want to use mobile wallet here. and something with hella strong protections. So thanks so much for that.